I actually vary out the way I do line art. Sometimes I'll actually use the scratch brush. So I'll have the scratch brush with a regular eraser, and that way I can maintain some of the areas where it looks like I flipped the brush off the paper, and this would look like the brushes are actually leaving the paper. Yes?
Does Olive translate to GIMP?
I'm sorry?
Does Olive translate to GIMP?
GAMP?
GIMP.
Oh, GIMP.
Yeah.
You know, I actually have not used GIMP very much, so I can't actually address that question. So, yeah, I would think that it does, but I don't want to give you the wrong answer. Yeah?
Since you started with traditional art, what do you think was lost, is lost or gained through going through digital?
Well, with traditional painting, what was lost was money. Because oil paints are so expensive. But as far as seriously, like what I feel like I lose is that nothing really replaces that hands-on feel. You know, when you are physically pushing a brush against a canvas, there's not only the tactile brush shape that's pushing down, but there's also the canvas that's pressing down, and you do lose that. There's a lot of emulation of that feel in the programs like Painter, but I feel like it just isn't the same thing. You also lose a little bit of that kind of drawing effect that you get when you're stacking colors in it. But really, when I paint in my digital programs, I try to maintain a lot of the way I would normally oil paint. So I'm stacking colors on top of, on dried paint. And I know Painter does have a dry paint feature. It still just doesn't feel the same. But you know, traditional and digital, they're very different from each other, but they're not so different that you can't do a lot in digital that you can do in traditional and vice versa. I just feel like the biggest value for me is not paying for oil paint and not paying for canvases and only having one copy of the object that I paint. But no, I still oil paint, but